Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the FearFans podcast. I'm your host, Don Elmy, and with me here is my co-host, Nick Muley. And we've got an awesome show for you tonight. We are covering the supernatural horror thriller Final Destination. And wow, 22 years ago, man.
I
You're,
still I still remember the commercials for it, to be honest with you.
oh man. Yeah, 22 years, the year 2000. Wow. I remember when that year started. I was over in Galena celebrating that New Year's with my family.
That's
Oh,
yeah, a movie like that was, I guess you can kind of say, kind of a good start to the millennium,
oh yeah.
to the new millennium.
Oh yeah, and it was also a continuation of the kind of trend that was going on with teen horror, which started with in the '90s with Scream, and then we've had movies like The Faculty, I Know What You Did Last Summer. Yeah,
Yep. Hey, Sarah. Yes, I agree. We are old. Yeah, and there was also one, and you know what? When you think about it too, even not necessarily a teen horror film, but among one of the actresses that was in Final Destination just 2-3 years earlier. No, wait, no, just a year early, I believe. She was also in House on Haunted Hill, the remake.
yep.
So there were a lot of those kind of movies that were being made, and I hate to bring this movie up, but this was also a teen horror film, but it was the weakest of the franchise. Of course, one of the last Halloween movies to come out. So there was like this huge expansion of like teen horror films that came out throughout the mid to late 90s and early 2000s.
Oh yeah, yeah. Scream really did a good job getting that going. Oh,
That movie is allowed to drink and drive, but not together. Hey, Jeremy.
Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you for joining us. And let's see. So, Final Destination, a lot of people, when it comes to criticism, it's a mixed bag. Some people liked it, some people thought it was silly, because I don't know. The premise I thought was fairly unique. I mean, it like explores the concept of how death does not like being cheated.
Exactly, yes. And even though you never see him, he is portrayed basically as kind of like a real character that's just never seen. And it shows, like you said, how much he hates being cheated.
Oh yeah. Hey, Mr. Nice Guy, thank you for tuning in.
Wait, hang on a second. Jeremy is. I think I see Jeremy on, but I'm not. It must be something he's doing.
Oh,
It's fine. Just let him do his work. He does this a lot on a few other shows. So
yeah. I was about to say it looked like somebody was trying to join our feed.
Yeah, that was if you see that pop up, that's Jeremy, but that's usually he's only on to do certain work on the show, so you don't have to worry about that. You don't no need to bring him on unless he wants to come on.
Right.
People have been trying to define and conquer death for thousands of years. That is absolutely correct.
Oh yes. Anyway, thousands of years in present time, we haven't come any further to like stopping death from taking us,
Well, even though we've now, especially in this day and age, have come to the conclusion that all things must come to an end, but there's always people out there who you could very well say who it's not always such a smart idea, but as how can I use the correct term, daring to play God. They think that they could escape death and never die and live immortality. Whenever you see things, okay, here you go, Don. Whenever you see things come on, just ignore it.
Yeah, yeah, I knew what you meant, Sarah. No worries.
Looks like she switched her YouTube to her Facebook channel. Excuse me, Facebook.
Yeah, it looks like she. Let's see.
Oh,
yep.
That.
Yeah, sorry, my watch is going off like crazy, saying, "A reminder, you have podcasts tonight." And I'm like, "Yeah, no kidding."
Yeah, I know. I got that too. Yeah, whenever you have the whenever you get that on multiple occasions, that you get that notification all the time. Yeah. When you set something up.
Death was mighty unhappy by being by Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted.
Oh yeah, and I like the way death was portrayed in the Final Destination franchise. Like usually, typically when people think of death as this thing that wants to take your life because he feels like it's your time. It's because wait,
hey guys, here we go. Hey, there she is.
Hey,
What's up,
what's up,
Rochelle?
guys?
Hey, how's it
Hey,
How you
going?
doing?
good.
It's great
Yeah,
to
glad.
finally have you on.
I
Oh
know,
yeah,
right?
How's
yeah.
your night?
Yep, glad you're able to join us.
100%.
Oh
Glad
yeah.
to be here.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for having me on your show.
Oh, no
It's
problem.
your first time ever being on any shows of our network.
Yes, I'm super excited about it. Granted, I'm a little nervous.
You'll be fine. Just imagine it's us talking.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, my subscriber Billy says, "Hello, Don. Am I late already?" No, we just started a few minutes ago, so I wouldn't say you're
56
that
minutes.
late. You're okay. You're good, man. Yeah. So, yeah, tonight we're talking about Final Destination. Oh, here, Billy is saying, "Nice to
Got a
meet you,
compliment
Rochelle."
here already, Rochelle.
Hi.
Yep, that's Billy, one of my subscribers on YouTube. Yeah. So if they bite
They
you,
might just bite back.
yeah,
Don't worry about that.
yeah. So right around, I was just talking about how in Final Destination, how I like how death was like portrayed very differently than what people normally expect. Like people like usually whenever we see death as a personification, it's usually like wearing a cloak, having a scythe or whatever that thing is called. Like we've seen him depicted that way in both Simpsons and Family Guy and Bill and Ted, all sorts of places.
Billy
But
and Mandy.
Yep. But in this, he exists as this unseen force that has the ability to manipulate environments, which leads me to another thing. When death doesn't just simply touch you and then makes you collapse dead when he feels like it's your time in Final Destination. No, it's a whole lot worse. He creates like a whole new like kind of a scenario, like manipulating the environments and objects to create a freak accident for survivors of the original design to die in. Yeah, so
Yep.
yeah,
Mhm.
very unique premise in this. So when did you first see Final Destination, Rochelle?
So when I first saw oh my god, I'm sorry. When I first saw Final Destination, I was actually a little kid. The first movie I actually saw was the second one, and I saw it on TV. It was playing around the Halloween season, and the scene that I saw was probably the most popular scene in the second movie. Was like pretty much the startup of when the death was about to take place, like the car accidents.
Oh yeah, the premonition.
Yeah. So I was
Oh
like
yeah,
about probably in sixth grade when I saw it.
yeah. You know what? It's funny you say that. The second one is the first one I saw too. Only I didn't see the whole thing. I just saw like the ending. I saw like it's kind of it's funny when you actually experience the film like out of context because I saw the ending when they were preparing for a barbecue and then the barbecue thing it blows up and kills a kid and I'm just like
Yeah,
I,
to me
I was
that
like
was funny.
yeah and I'm like what the hell just happened. So yeah, out of context, this film could seem weird, but then I saw the first one, and I'm just like, oh, okay. So death is going after people that should have died in freak accidents.
Yeah, and I
It's
feel like
funny.
it kind of like drags on. Sorry, Nick.
No, go ahead. You
I feel
go ahead.
I was gonna say I also feel like it's kind of interesting how like other people also get into the mix as well. You know, like around the person who has the premonition, because it skips over the people. If like
If if someone intervenes with it. Oh, here the third movie
yeah,
has made me scared of Oh yeah, oh yeah. Like I gotta say, Mary Elizabeth Winstead's acting, and that's in that that scene really sold it because she like
oh
that's
yeah,
the yeah like I felt like her acting was the best of the entire franchise. But
yeah. There's an actual theme park too, based off of the third movie.
I thought
oh,
there was. I
Yeah.
kept. Wasn't there like some kind of game or something that came out? I couldn't remember.
oh
Oh,
no,
I don't remember, but I do know that there is a theme park somewhere in the
That's what
Midwest
I mean.
that has the actual roller coaster.
oh.
That's pretty badass, I have to say.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I like how like the devil announcer in for that roller coaster in Final Destination 3 was voiced by Tony Todd who primarily is known for playing the mortician Bloodworth in the franchise. Like he
Yep.
knows
Yeah.
all about death. Yeah, cuz yeah, Tony Todd, we've discussed him before on this podcast, Nick, how we've met him and he's been in so many different horror films that we've seen. Like it's
A true horror veteran.
yes. Yeah, he has been known for as Candyman. Let's see. I also liked
Night
his
of the Living
performance.
Dead, the remake.
Yeah, I was about to say I
Yeah.
liked his performance as Ben in the Night of the Living Dead remake. And yeah, he hasn't been always just been in horror. I've seen him in movies like Platoon and The Rock. So he's been all over the place.
Oh yeah,
Every
that one's
time
one of my favorite movies.
Every time I think of Tony Todd, I also think, especially when you brought up Candyman, Don, is, well, thing was, at one point, he was also the Rocket Man.
Yeah, that's you. You're the Rocket Man.
Like the old John Song Rocket.
Oh man. But yeah, he here. The barbecue scene was more out of context.
Is more out of context than that ending scene where a couple of kids play soccer with a severed head in Hostel 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've never seen Hostel, and well,
it's brutal.
I actually no, I'll take that. I've seen only a few parts of that movie. Actually made me sick to my stomach.
Oh yeah,
that's a horrific, nasty film.
It is.
Yeah,
that's definitely what they were going for.
Yeah,
yeah, but yeah, Final Destination, like the first scene, it's like it seems like to play at first. It plays on the fear of flying, focusing on Alex Devon Sawa's character. Like he already has a fear of flying, and then he has that dream that the plane is exploding and like freaks out. But it turns out the whole thing's a premonition because everything that was portrayed at the beginning of his dream was happening for real. So then he just freaks out, and then has some of his friends dragged off, including let's see, there was this his love interest has the craziest name ever, Clear Rivers, played by Ali Larder. Yeah,
Nick, which Rocket Man? I'm talking about from when Nicolas Cage was like asking Tony Todd, saying, "Well, do you like the old John song Rocket Man?" But I don't know what Tony said, but he's like, "Oh yeah, well, it's just because it's you. You're the Rocket Man."
And then kills him with a rocket. Really. And then kills him with a rocket.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Saw it's a brutal film too, but it's not as brutal as Hostel is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I do like the storyline of Saw though.
Yeah, we're definitely covering the Saw movies later on. Definitely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course, we're gonna be talking about Saw.
Oh yeah, and let's see. So Ali Larder, who plays Clear, one of the franchises I'm most familiar with from her is from the live action Resident Evil movies when she played Claire Redfield.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's mostly what I know her from. But they had some pretty big names for back then in this, like Devon Sawa, who I just mentioned. He was in let's see, he played Casper as a human at the end of Casper Friendly Ghost when he's dancing with Christina Ricci.
I haven't seen that one. Oh my god! But I do remember the Casper movies when he was the ghost.
Oh yeah, let's see, what else was he in? He was in Idle Hands, that one with Seth Green and Jessica Alba. So another teen horror flick from the 90s.
It's a great movie.
God, I'm going to send the invite to the other
show.
Great movie.
Hey, Kevin.
Hello.
How you doing?
How's it going, man?
Can I join you guys?
Yep.
He's going to be
go right ahead.
Yeah.
Don, I just sent the link for the other show host, so she's going to be coming on shortly. I'll introduce you to her just when she comes on.
Okay, cool. Yep. So you're Kevin, right?
Yeah, I'm Kevin. How's it going, guys?
Yep. It's good.
Kevin, it's good to see you. It's good to see you actually. Seeing actually you.
Last time I saw you was in
makeup. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm glad to have you guys on. Yeah, because like Kevin, I don't think we've met, so it's great to finally meet you on here.
Yeah, you too, man. Thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, so yeah, we're just discussing the first Final Destination film. Yeah, like we're just going over some we were just talking about some of the biggest names in this. Like another one I remembered it was Sean William Scott. He was mostly in comedy movies. Like he played Steve Stifler in the American Pie franchise, and he was in Dude, Where's My Car and Evolution. So it was kind of weird seeing him in this.
Oh, Nick, because there's two movies called Rocket Man, the Disney comedy and the Elton John biopic. Saw was hilarious movie. Wait, what? Saw was, I can't tell what.
The Fantic.
Okay.
I know he was in the new Chucky series.
Yeah.
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 So you think that teenagers got smarter in later horror movies from the 90s or dumber? What do you think, Don?
Some of them are definitely dumber, depending on what kind of movie you see.
Yeah, like even within the new Scream movie, I feel like the kids there are a little bit more smarter, just a little bit more. Yeah,
I wouldn't say
slightly
smarter, but more aware.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, because I guess if you look at horror comedies, then characters are obviously dumber, like Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, but let's see.
Evolution is a great movie.
Yeah, he's talking about the movie Evolution because I mentioned Sean William Scott was in that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why. That one. Yeah. So, this Final Destination, obviously, it's all about people dying. Like that, the whole concept is you can't cheat death. And there were some pretty brutal deaths throughout the whole franchise. Which ones stand out for you guys the most?
I feel like it depends on the movie. So, like for me, what really stood out for me in the second movie was the scene when they were at the farm, and when the car got exploded, and the guy had like the whole fence like cut him in half. That to me, that was the most interesting one.
Oh yeah, the stoner guy. Yeah, he was like, had it cut in half. His arm was missing. He was, oh man,
that was nuts.
That was insane.
Yeah,
and yeah. For me, probably as far as like the most brutal one is a scene that I refer to that as it's a scene that I call burning to ashes, as in the burning of two Ashleys, where they go into this they go into like the spa area, like to like the tanning beds. Tanning beds. There's something I would never use in a million years, not because of the film, not because of that, but also because of the risks of cancer, and that's something
what I was going to say. Cancer.
Yeah. They use UV light when they do that.
Yeah, seriously. I go to the gym and I walk by and I see those tanning beds, and I'm like, no thanks.
I could just to say on the comedy side, I would rather deal with actually being burned up by the sun instead of tanning beds like Kramer did in Seinfeld when that one time he put butter on him.
Oh man, yeah, but even though it's highly unrealistic the way they depicted that in the film, like because they had there should be like I think there's supposed to be like buttons on the inside of those machines where you could just shut it off. They had like no way of turning those things off in the film.
I never thought about that because I never used the tanning bed, nor do I feel like I need to, especially like with any point in my life. Like I literally have the sun and that's it. But like to have any type of like, safety mechanisms, I wouldn't look past why they shouldn't have done that. But I feel like if you're in that moment of panic, when you're in a very small confined space, like I feel like when you're in a moment of panic, like that's the last thing you think of.
Oh yeah,
I'm going to say this. I mean, when it comes to those tanning beds, like if there's going to be danger that's going to occur to some of those people, even though they say that they're safe, that would make a very good lawsuit if you manage to survive it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, especially
100%.
when you put that. Especially when you put anything above a tanning bed like that shelf, which is what trapped them in there. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to put anything above those things.
Yep, that's what that's what you got a lawsuit for afterwards. So that does happen.
Yeah,
that's kind of a similar scene to the one in Final Destination 5 where the guy was in the massage room, and then like towards the end there was like a fire, and then like the Buddha statue like just landed on top of him and then like smashed his head. Like that's a similar scene.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
man. Oh yeah, and I just think of like so many deaths. I think of like one of the funnier ones, like the only funny one, the one that I think of was like some dark humor to it is where there was this white supremacist guy in the tow truck in the fourth film. In the fourth film, he was like trying to avenge his he was trying to get revenge because he blames like the black security guard for his wife's death, but he ends up getting killed by set on fire by the truck while the radio was playing "Why Can't We Be Friends" by War.
Yeah,
that song. I just laughed at the irony of that.
That's funny, but it's also kind of justice because, like, you know what, this guy was. You know what, one person actually described a lot of the deaths in these Final Destination movies is, if you kind of look at it very carefully, it kind of is somewhat like that of like stuff you'd see from like Looney Tunes or something, but really violent. It's like a Looney Tunes cartoon because you see that too, and it goes horribly wrong. But this time in this, they're making them like really violent and gory, and most of the time dark, but even still, like you said, adding a little humor to them.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let's see. Let's see, who directed the first two films? Yeah,
That
James Wong.
was
Yeah, James Wong.
James Wong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is something of one of the this is something I feel like he did right. Like the first one and third one are the ones that he directed, but it still does not make up for his biggest crime of all, Nick. You know what that is?
What's that?
The biggest sin that has ever been committed against anime, Dragon Ball Evolution.
Oh yeah. Oh my
Interesting.
god.
Yeah, that don't ever see it. It's horrible.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, don't. I haven't seen it. I do not ever plan on seeing it.
Yeah,
I
you
can't
shouldn't.
remember if I have seen it or not. I've seen like a lot of them. That's why I've seen like a few of them, but I can't remember the order of them.
The order of I'm sorry, of what? The Dragon Ball series?
Yeah,
Oh.
because I know there was a couple movies that came out.
Oh yeah, that was back in like 2009. But I just feel like the man has committed a huge insult against this, my childhood right here.
I think it would for a lot of us. But yeah, no, seriously, that is the one thing I have never done. Never. I even said to myself, dude, if you want to basically still have the perfect childhood when it comes to certain series or shows, do not ever watch this movie. I'm like, you know what? I'll take your word for it. People have seen it. They know about it. And once I've heard what it was all about, I don't need to watch a movie like that. I'm good.
Yep.
After what you showed me, Don. So yeah, thank you. James Wong's biggest crime was the Conjuring movie.
I don't think that was James Wong. Was it?
No, it was. James Wong directed that, I think.
Yeah.
Wait, let me go back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Because, okay, so to kind of just respond for Sarah's comment here is
No, that's James Wan, not James Wong.
that's what I've been saying. James Wan. I think she might have put that in wrong. But no, what I was just gonna say to kind of answer her comment, James did, but at the same time he didn't. It's kind of a yes and no. I mean, yes, the Conjuring movie was a good film, but at the same time, there was some controversy regarding the real case. So that's why, Sarah's saying it's considered a crime. So I will agree, but also disagree. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah, not to mention The Conjuring is historically inaccurate in some areas.
Yeah, it is, because there are some things involved in the film that didn't happen in the real case.
Yeah.
Now everybody's saying it correctly.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But yeah, there were like oh man, like tons of more gruesome deaths throughout the whole Final Destination franchise. I feel like they got more and more disturbing as the series just went on.
No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and what do
No,
you say?
go ahead, Don. I thought you were going to say something. No, you go ahead.
You go ahead. I was finished.
Oh no! What I was just going to I was actually just going to say was, see, honestly, I think the one death scene I think that really kind of pushed it over the edge for me was two of them actually. They were both in the first movie. Was whoever that kid's name was who was in the bathroom, and it's been a long time since I see. Yeah, he gets choked up and his eyes become all bloodshot. Like I remember looking at that, I'm like, holy shit! Like that is just brutal to see his eyes. They're not just bloodshot. You're basically looking at the eyes of death right there. Like you can see his life is slowly draining out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he was like the first to die in the premonition, so that's why death went after him first. Because the way it works is like how death in Final Destination, he just goes after the people in order of which they would have died if they had been inside the accident, if they were on that plane, if they were in that pile up, if they're on the roller coaster, all those. I forgot to mention. Think about that actress who played Ashley in Final Destination 3. Hang on, something I learned recently.
While you're looking that up, I was going to say
I got it.
Oh, okay, go ahead then.
I got it. Let's see. Her name is Chillen Simmons. She actually played. I just learned this recently. She played the little girl who was like the first victim in It for the miniseries. That little girl.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
That was her. I didn't even know that.
I just saw her recently, about a year or two ago on. Believe it or not, Don, she made a guest appearance on the show, The Good Doctor, as a patient.
Oh yeah, she also played Chloe and Tucker and Dale versus Evil. It's funny I mentioned that before. And
Oh yeah,
I remember
yeah.
like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, and I remember first seeing her in this really terrible movie that aired on Sci-Fi Channel called, like, I saw it back in like 2004, I think. It was called Snakehead Terror, where a town was fighting against a bunch of mutant snakehead fish. It was,
That's sci-fi for you. That's
yeah,
the Sci-Fi Channel. They always make weird movies.
Yeah, that sounds
yeah,
about right.
yeah, it was.
That's probably one of those pre-Sharknado movies.
They always come up with the stupidest things and have all the creatures portrayed with horrible CGI. It's the same old thing.
Yep,
Well, it's a
that's
classic B
Sci-Fi
movie.
Channel's
That's okay.
business.
Yeah.
Some of them were made by Roger Corman. Yeah, he was a legend.
Roger, isn't he still alive? Roger Corman?
Oh yeah, he's alive.
Yeah, wow, it's amazing. Now he's in his 90s.
Yeah, I thought you meant Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Oh no, that wasn't her in it. No, that's not her. No, it wasn't her. But Mary Elizabeth Winstead, she has starred in other horror films like it's not a remake, it's a prequel for The Thing that was released in 2011.
Yep.
Yeah, she was in that. Yeah. Yeah, and let's see, she was in that Harley Quinn movie. It was that new Harley Quinn movie that came after Suicide Squad.
Okay.
Oh, the Birds of Prey, or the Birds
of Prey. Yes, that's the one.
Hey, Don.
Yeah.
Yes.
To name a few examples, Sarah just put this down: ice spiders and Sharknado.
I've seen both. They're bad.
I've seen Sharknado, but I've never seen ice spiders.
Yeah, spiders attacking a skiing resort.
I know there's also ice twisters. There's that one too.
Oh Jesus!
You can go on and on. They got so many of these movies. What's going on, David? Good to see you.
Hello, David.
Hi.
Yeah, and let's see. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, like, and did you know that like in the first film there was like an alternate ending?
Yeah, I did.
I
yeah.
didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, there was an alternate ending where they played this little subplot where Clear was pregnant with Alex's baby, and Alex did in fact die in the end, whereby from that electrocution, and then Death ended up skipping Clear and Carter because she ended up giving birth. So introduction of a new life. Then that completely skipped canceled out Death.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they even though they did not have that featured in the film, obviously, but they did explore that idea in the second film where there was that I think it was pregnant. I think she was a nurse who was like not a nurse, like a delivery person in a van, and they thought
they did.
They explored that in the second film. Yeah.
They use Mad Libs for those movie titles.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Let's see. Let's roll the dice. What kind of movie should we make next? Let's see. Dino Shark. Okay, here. Let's see. Super Gator. All right.
They probably just also pulled it out of the hat too.
That's another way. Yeah.
Like say, take your pick, right? I mean, put them all here. All right, gonna mix them up. Gonna take one of these up. Sharknado. That would be we're gonna make that movie.
It's like they all put a bunch of words, jumbled it up in a hat, and just shook the hat around. Like,
or what if they also did this? Have like a dartboard, put a bunch of different words on there. They just throw one dart. Let's see, it lands on. Let's see, snakehead. Another dart. Hair. Let's see. Okay, shark. Okay, let's see. NATO.
I bet it was just a drinking game. They're all taking shots, playing Cards Against Humanity, and they picked it all out. Like,
can you imagine if they actually made like a Cards Against Humanity like horror movie? Like if you pick the wrong card or something, you end up exactly as the card says.
Oh man!
Can you imagine? Oh my god.
Okay, so we got a question here. Don, Nick, Rochelle, and Kevin. Which movie is worse, Dragon Ball Evolution or The Last Airbender?
Definitely Dragon Ball Evolution.
I've never seen The Last Airbender.
I've never seen that either.
Dragon Ball.
I haven't seen The Last Airbender, so.
Oh yeah, Dragon Ball is definitely worse because I hate the way they depicted. Like they like whitewashed a whole lot of characters, especially the actor who played Goku, played by let's see, Justin Chadwick. Yeah, like I've seen him. I mean, I have seen him in War of the Worlds, the Steven Spielberg remake. Let's see, he was in Shameless, which had which had Rassam, who was also in Dragon Ball Evolution. Yeah, Emmy Rassam. So yeah, and Nick, Emmy Rassam ended up playing Bulma in that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
who was apparently the same age as Goku, which is another inaccuracy because Bulma's supposed to be 4 years older than Goku in the show.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's inaccurate. Dragon Ball Evolution is inaccurate in more ways than. Oh man, it has to be seen to be believed.
Jeez,
man. But so yeah, like. So, like I was thinking back to the first Final Destination, like the beginning, where after he has the premonition and is like thrown off the plane. And given that this film was released in the year 2000, I imagine like if this film had been post 9/11, they would have done more than just kick them off the plane. I feel like they would have just evacuated the entire plane and checked everybody, made sure no one had anything on them, and also maybe they would also check the equipment on the plane, the instruments, everything, see if anything's been tampered with or whatnot, or if anything's been planted on there. I mean,
yeah, 100%.
Obviously, they've amped up airport security after 9/11. So yeah. And also, if this had been taken place,
but I feel like. Oh, sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I was gonna say like, also if this had been post 9/11, pretty sure Alex would have been behind bars right after when it had happened.
Yeah, you tell God
yeah. So what were you gonna say, Rochelle?
No, I was gonna say like a little off topic, but I feel like because of the first movie, that probably is one of the biggest reasons why I hate flying on airplanes. Like just the thought of an airplane exploding at like 14,000 feet is just a no-go for me.
Oh yeah. And also, you're not going to believe this. A few years ago, I was flying from home from LA. It was at my cousin's wedding. I was like watching a movie on my phone and whatnot, but someone else was like watching a movie in front of me on their laptop, a DVD. And you know what it was? Final Destination on a plane.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my God.
Don't remind me.
I was in disbelief.
When I was gonna go to Fright Fest like not too long ago, we were watching Final Destination 3 right before Fright Fest, the night before Fright Fest.
Oh man!
And we were at Six Flags the next day.
Oh geez, now I just lost my train of thought. I was about to say something, now it's gone.
Watching a movie about a plane exploding while on a plane. I was in disbelief.
It's funny to think about. Actually, it just came back. It's funny to think when I think of these, for something like that. Rochelle, I can kind of share what you're saying, but I'm not afraid of them. But I haven't even been on a plane for like 12 years now since like I was back in high school. So it's been like 12 years since I've taken a plane. And that was when I went to Louisville, Kentucky to go to Waverly Hills Sanatorium for the very first time. So since then, I've not been on a plane, although I'm not afraid to be on one yet, unless same thing happens with Don, that I see a copy of Final Destination. Pickle Tom, he's in the house.
Nice. Yeah, like in case you guys don't know, Pickle Nick, Pickle Tom, that's like Pickle Rick from Rick and Morty. That's what he's referencing.
It was he does have a network of his own, which is called BB3 TV, but he also has a YouTube show. It's called This Is Tom's World, which, by the way, as I always have to say, whenever he's around, make sure to subscribe to youtube.com/This Is Tom's World. And he also used to do a podcast show, and they were joking about Pickle Rick on the show, so I started joking in, and then eventually as time went on, I started calling him Pickle Tom, and now he's been calling us Pickle Nick and Don nowadays. Yep, here's the link. Cool. Yep,
there you go.
Make sure to subscribe to this link.
Nice.
He's a lot of fun. He's actually really funny.
He is. Nick, did you say another show host was going to be joining us?
Yeah, I'm checking right now. She saw the link, but I'm not sure what's going on. So hopefully, You better.
Oh, here. I'll promote myself here.
Oh no, I was actually just gonna say we're gonna have to promote this is Tom's world now.
Here, let's see.
Might as well.
Yep. Here, let me put down a link from my channel on here.
And I'm just gonna say this. I mean, while he's doing that, Tom would probably be the best way of portraying an older Morty from the show. Wouldn't you agree, Don?
Oh, just posted a whole bunch of links.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you, Don. Whenever you post something, like in the comments itself, because you're broadcasting on several destinations, it's gonna yeah, that's like you're on your our personal profiles. You're on Things Network, Facebook, Things Network, LinkedIn, your channel, Things Network channel, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. When you message those, I mean, when you put a comment, it's going to send it to every destination. So that's why there's a whole bunch of them. So that's what you're seeing right now. It's all been sent to the respective destinations.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Oh, here. Sarah Yosef says, "I hate snakes on a plane."
Yeah,
to me, that movie was just meh.
Yeah.
You want to see something really bad? See the knockoff Snakes on a Train.
I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, avoid it at all costs.
What? You never seen that movie?
No. I do still owe you guys an appearance. I flacked down the Evil Dead show. I really wanted to be there. Well, I commented, but that wanted to be on that one.
We'll have another. We're gonna do another episode focusing on the Evil Dead franchise, Tom. So, all right, we'll hook you up. We'll get you on here.
Yep.
Yeah, because because remember, we still have yet to focus on the remake and the TV series.
That's right.
Yes. Yeah. So, yeah. What was I thinking?
I'm checking with the. Actually, I meant to say it's not a show host, but it's one of our other fans. I'm checking with her right now, see what's going on. So keep going, Don.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, the second film is where things get like I said, the franchise gets more brutal. Is like the premonition got more brutal too. Like with the second film, that pile up, it showed like everybody just crashed their cars, lots of blood, and also like the blonde guy like having he was like on fire until like it showed like a truck crashing into him, and it was
Jesus, yeah.
I know. And I should mention the black guy who was on the motorcycle was the voice of Kratos in the God of War franchise.
Oh wow!
Oh,
yep. I think his name was. I'm trying to remember his name. Tyson. Oh wait, here. Let me pull it up here. God of War. Name is at the tip of my tongue. What? Here, I got it. Let me pull up his name. Oh, here, T.C. Carson. That's his name. Yeah, like before he played the vengeful Kratos, he was one of the victims of death. Yeah, he let's see, how did he die? Oh yeah, he was like hospitalized and then died from that oxygen explosion, which also killed Clear.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting because he lasted towards the end of the movie, and then he also tried to commit suicide by taking out like in the scene where they're all in the apartment, and he took some dude's gun and he tried like to shoot himself, and it wasn't even his turn. It wasn't even shot, and he was like, I got my own, like I can control my own death and stuff. So it was pretty interesting how like how death really takes a toll on like on how we survive and like what order goes in.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. Or was it your blanks or something?
No, the revolver was full, so it was like it was full of bullets. So when he pulled the trigger, it's like a jam. So that's why, like when they checked the gun and it was full, everybody was like, "This is impossible." So that's how you knew there was a design meant for them.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, because it wasn't his turn to die. That's another thing. Like, that's another interesting concept they added into the second film is that death really wants to kill you when it's your time, not just when on your own.
Exactly what Sarah just said.
Death wins eventually. Yes, it does. And
it's like she took the words right out of your mouth before you even finished, Don.
Yeah, but I think the second film is like the one instance where where Kimberly and Thomas, like, they actually successfully cheated death, like when they would like actually survive. Like they weren't killed off in this film or later on in the franchise, but there actually was another deleted scene where it showed a newspaper clipping about I think in the third film where they were killed off in between films from an incident involving a wood chipper. Now that
sounds brutal already.
That's a nasty way to go, man.
You better hope that it's quick, because that you're going to be
not
movies like that where
you're not gonna.
Can you imagine like falling feet first?
Oh my god, that would just be horrible. You know what? I'm gonna say this right now.
One thing about this movie.
That would surely not be a death where you could just simply knock on wood.
Oh my god!
Wow.
I had to say it.
That's lit.
Oh my god.
That was bad. I think she's referring to like about the wood chipper. I don't think one of my joke was bad.
Oh man.
Didn't land.
Oh, I also wanted to mention this. I don't know if you noticed this, Nick, but throughout the franchise, most of the first two films, the last names of the characters are actually references to directors in the horror films.
Come on, Sarah. Man, sometimes this can be a tough crowd.
But Nick, you ever notice like some of the last names of the characters in the first two films are actually references to like real horror movie makers, like Billy Hitchcock in the first film, Alfred Hitchcock, Sean William Scott's character. Let's see, Browning, like from the first film. What was his name? Alex Browning.
Todd Browning.
Yeah, Alex referencing is a reference to Todd Browning.
Yeah.
And let's see, what else? Oh, in the second film, there was a mother and son whose last name is Carpenter, John Carpenter.
It's funny how you mentioned that. I don't know how I didn't notice that, but you know what? There's another movie that did something like that. It's a least known zombie film that came out in the late 80s, which was you ever seen The Dead Next Door? You ever seen that
Heard
one?
of it? I've yet to see it.
I've seen it. The story is kind of weak, but the gory effects are really good. But what's really cool about that film is they do the same thing. They name people after well-known horror directors. Actually, I think Sam Raimi might have actually produced it. I could be wrong on that. But what's interesting, like in that movie, you have characters like by the last names of people. Like, so you got Savini, you got Carpenter, you got King, you got Romero. And what's even funny is that for some reason, one of the characters was dubbed by Bruce Campbell. So it's not a very, Sam Raimi produced it. That's right. So they do the same thing in that movie too, as they name after well-known horror film veterans.
That they do. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it right here.
But it's weird though to hear. It's funny to see Bruce Campbell. Like you hear Bruce Campbell, but you never see him though, because he dubs one of the characters for some odd reason.
Huh.
So
That's weird.
hear his voice, and it's never really been explained why Bruce Campbell had to dub somebody else's voice, because this was a completely American film. This wasn't like a foreign movie.
That's true. Hold on. There was another comment I wanted to pull up here. Let's see. Where was it?
Oh, and guys, guess who decided? Come on, meet Pickle Tom.
Hey, Tom.
What's up, Tom?
See, no matter what you do, you can't get away from Bruce Campbell. He is everywhere. He's God.
He is. One person once said that he's bigger than Tom Cruise, and I think he is.
Well, yeah. I mean, come on now. That's Ash Williams. You can't beat Ash. I mean, they even did a fan fiction film that I saw where they did the movie that was supposed to happen, which was Jason versus Freddy versus Ash.
Nice. Yep.
And he prevailed in that fan fiction, if I remember correctly. And I think that was the way it was to be in the story too. But like they all come back. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, Ash is alive, but like Freddy and Jason, they always come back.
Yep.
That's why you will never see a Friday the 13th ends.
That's correct.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, Jason always comes back.
You know, unlike Michael Myers. I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you guys think about Halloween Ends? If you've
I
seen
didn't
it,
even watch it. I didn't
have
watch the
not
last
seen it.
two.
I've seen it. I've seen it in theaters. It's
It's kind of weak.
yeah. It honestly, I felt like it was like 10% of seeing Michael Myers.
There
Yeah,
was no
That's
Michael.
what I was told.
Yeah.
You were
Like
really
I don't want to
first
spoil
30
it for
minutes.
people who still hasn't seen it, but like it's like you get to see 5 to 10% of him. It's like the rest of the movie was pretty much like a dry love story.
pretty much. Here's what the title should have been. I found this picture here.
Corey's story.
Nice.
There, it says the tagline is "How one adult man took on teen bullies and won."
Yeah, pretty much.
Don, really quickly, just so you know, I just discovered this. I didn't realize this was messaged earlier. Looks like Greg won't be coming on after us. So if you want to stay on for a few extra minutes,
Sure.
we can. Jill's in the house. Good to see
That's
Jill.
who I waved to.
Hey, Jill. Good to see you.
That's right. I'm one of your favorite men. Don't forget that.
How you doing?
Hey, what about me?
She said, I said one of.
No, she said, "See my favorite man."
Right. So I am one of these. I just said, don't forget that.
Sounds like every movie from the 90s.
Oh man.
Well, I'll tell you what, the topic movie always has me worried, as I'm sure it does everybody else who has seen the movie, when you're behind a truck that's hauling like logs and stuff.
I swear, yeah.
Like you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, like I'm driving a lot, and if I'm ever on a highway and I see stuff being on a truck bed, like chained up, and I'm just like, I'm like trying to make sure I'm next to it, not behind it.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't want to be in front of it either, because if they come to a dead stop, that stuff just shoots right through.
Oh,
You know?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
You're a dead man then.
Because basically, Final Destination franchise, their goal is to make you paranoid about literally everything, whether it's planes, roller coasters, bridges. Let's see, saunas.
How many did they do?
5.
5.
God.
Yeah,
I can
they've
remember
done
3 of
5
them.
so far.
Yeah, last one was 11 years ago.
They'll
Oh
bring
my
it back.
god, yeah.
You know they will.
They've been trying to bring that back for the last couple of years, but understand where they're trying to come up with a good story. And obviously, a lot of these guys have had other filming projects.
Yep, I got all 5 of these. Let's see, was it? Yep, 2011.
They should just do like
the way they ended it was complete.
Yeah.
they should just do like a Netflix show or something. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, I'm
just be
surprised
done
there's
with
no
it.
television
Oh yeah,
series.
that would actually be better.
I actually heard that they've been trying to get a series off the ground for a while. If they might be working on a 6th film, like I've heard rumors, but I don't know. We'll just see. I guess we'll just see what happens.
Yeah, I'm actually looking it up right now. See what.
I mean, the series could be never ending. Really. I mean, as
Yeah,
long as it has the following.
The way they ended it was great.
If it has a following and if done right, because there could be a point where if they keep repeating the same thing, it could get stale. So,
Did you guys know? I just looked this up. It says that the Final Destination series, like, it's based on an unproduced spec script by Jeffrey Reddick that was originally written for the X-Files television series.
She
Yo.
disappeared
I
except
didn't
for
know
her
that.
eyes, man.
that makes sense.
So it says here the latest update is in January of this year, they announced that Guy Busick would collaborate on the script with Taylor. Oh, wait, no. Script with Taylor while John Watts joined as a producer. Additionally, it was revealed that the film would be distributed through HBO Max, of course. Then in September, it was announced that Zach Lebowski and Adam B. Stein would co-direct the film after the pair staged an elaborate death. Oh my God! After
I
the
could do
pair
that too.
staged an elaborate death hoax in a Zoom call meeting with the studio executives. Producers were impressed with the duo's vision for the project and how their presentation evoked the franchise. The draft of the script at that time was co-authored from an original story, but it doesn't really say anything else about when we should be seeing it coming on.
It's like a Harvard show.
Casper, Nick.
Here, it's like a horror version of America's Funniest Home Video.
You know what? Yeah, it kind of is actually.
That's what I said earlier. It's like when you think of those movies, it's kind of like Looney Tunes almost, but very violent.
Oh yeah, extremely violent. I mean, we've seen people like literally torn apart by accidents, or oh man, like I'm thinking back to like also the Final Destination, the fourth one, like the accident on that raceway. What do they call it? The racetrack, like what do they call those? Like a derby,
Speedways.
whatever that is. Speedways. That's what that is.
Speedways, yeah.
And like the very first death
Speedway.
is coming, like the very first death that is taken like right off. You know, that starts right after the premonition. It comes to pass when that tire just flies up and just slices a woman down in half. I was like, oh man, this time they're like they up the gore in that. They're not playing around.
Yeah.
Which one was it where the guy got taken out by the barbed wire?
Brutal one.
Yeah, it was. I'm sorry, Tom.
Which one was it where the guy got taken out by like the barbed wire from the fence that went flying? Was that the second one?
Yeah,
that was a pretty intense scene.
Oh yeah, we were just talking about that second one.
Oh yeah,
because you didn't know for a second. He's like,
I'll be honest. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I mean, even though I knew a lot of these death scenes, I've never actually seen the other Final Destination movies. I've seen the first one, but I know about all these other deaths though. Somehow I know about it. I haven't even seen them.
You had a premonition of it or something.
Oh man. And Tom, Tom, I was just.
You had one in your dreams.
Oh, that's a different movie. That's Nightmare on Elm Street.
Holy cow! She said she's seen someone get decapitated by a truck.
Wait, seriously?
How short were they that they got decapitated by a truck?
Oh my god!
I mean, wow. They would have had to have been like this.
That
tall.
is just.
It's like I will just say this: whatever I've seen in Final Destination, I watch it knowing that it's fake, but to see that in real life, no,
you never forget it.
No,
you never forget it.
But damn,
I feel like that's the point of the movies. It's like, keep you on your toes.
Yeah,
about
some
real
little
life
guy
situations.
walking down the road like, "Hey, look, there's a truck coming at me." Oh no!
Yeah,
real life situations. These are freak accidents.
I know that can happen in
These
real
are
life.
freak accidents in real life.
Yeah, freak accidents that can happen in real life. You know?
Yeah. I mean, Tom, like I was just telling them earlier, the fact that I was on a plane 4 years back, flying back from LA, the fact that someone was actually watching Final Destination on their laptop doesn't help much either. While on a plane.
My very first flight, the only flight I've taken actually to and from was from here in Philly to San Francisco, straight through 6-hour flight. So we were up really, really high, and I have a really bad fear of heights, and it was my first time on a flight. And the show or the movie that they put on was The Perfect Storm.
Oh,
what?
Oh shit!
Like, what are you doing?
Oh my god! What is wrong with these people putting movies like that in a play? Yeah, that's
like,
great.
Yeah,
that
phobia. Like, my god!
And I watched it too, like an idiot.
Yeah, why don't they just put on Day After Tomorrow while they're at it?
I felt like William Shatner, like.
Or like if you were like, let's say for example, if you were driving, like like how they have like those little monitors in cars. Like imagine if you were showing a movie to like other people in the car, and there's like a really bad storm coming, like a very nasty one, like a microburst or something, and all of a sudden you have like Twister being played in the car.
Either that or Day After Tomorrow.
Day After Tomorrow.
2012.
2012.
That's another. Sharknado.
Well, but if you're in a traffic jam, then having falling down wouldn't be good to have on.
Yeah, they should have been watching the Ring video.
The Ring video.
I mean, I have no problem with the Ring video. I just have to make sure that I share it with someone, and then they share it with someone, and so on. That way none of us get hurt. We're good.
The heck was that commercial back in the 80s?
I wasn't around.
And I told 2 friends, and they told 2 friends, and so on and so.
We were all.
I guess I'm the oldest one here.
Yeah, all of us were born in the 90s, so we wouldn't remember.
Yeah, so was my son. So.
Yeah. But I will say this, Tom. The 80s certainly seems like a very interesting era to us 90s kids.
The 80s was the best era for B movies.
Yes,
it was. lot of good horror films from the 80s.
Yep.
Some of my favorites are from the 80s, like let's see, Nightmare on Elm Street. That's another good one.
Thanksgiving is a
Love
good
Robert
B movie.
Englund.
That was not from the 80s.
What was it?
No, thanks, killing.
Yeah, but it's a good B movie though.
Well, I mean, they always have B movies, you know.
Oh yeah.
But the ones from the 80s were the best, in my opinion.
Especially when you have the Scream Queen actresses, Bring Stevens, Linnea Quigley, and oh man, I always forget her. I always forget. Damn it, who was the last one? I can't remember who it was.
I thought it would have been Jamie Lee
It
Curtis.
was Jamie Lee Curtis.
No, there was like a main, like they always call them the classic three, and it was
Isn't it the girl from Scream?
Michelle Bauer. That's who it was. No, these were actresses that started a lot, like in a lot of B movies throughout the 80s and early 90s. Bring Stevens, Linnea Quigley, and Michelle Bauer.
I did get to interview some like older B movie actresses on a show that a friend of mine used to put on, Night of the Living Dreads, where he would bring in. You remember Otis, right, Nick?
Yeah, I remember Otis.
Yeah, I used to be on his show on a regular basis, and then things just changed the format of the show, and it was just him and his one co-host. But they knew that when they booked an interview with two of the three women from the original Evil Dead, not the chick that played Ash's sister, but the other two.
Tom, just really quickly, Tom, Don, I would like to introduce you to Nikki. She's hopefully she'll be coming on. Her connection will be on. But I'll tell you this right now. She lives all the way down in Australia. So prepare to have our first guest from the land down under.
Oh yeah, Australia is definitely one of my go-to places for whenever I travel abroad. I definitely got to check. I definitely got to see that place.
I think she's having connection problems. I get it though. It's pretty far.
She's a very dark person, apparently.
Give her a chance. She'll come on.
Yeah, I would love to see Sydney, especially that opera house. To see that in person is definitely to see that in person would be a great experience for me.
We need to at some point do an Australian horror film, Don. We got to talk about that.
I got a few. I actually just downloaded one a few weeks back. Hang on one second, I pull it up here. Let's see.
It was Betsy Baker and Teresa Tilly. By the
this
way.
one.
Oh yeah, Rogue. I've heard of that one.
Yep. Stars Rhoda Mitchell and Sam Worthington. This is before he was in Avatar.
Oh, yep. See, her connection. She'll come back.
Shit.
But yeah,
I'm sorry.
Nick,
go ahead.
Yeah, Nick. Yeah, Rogue. That's another one we're gonna have to cover at some point in the future.
We'll obviously have to have Nikki on for that one too.
Of course.
It was very interesting interviewing the two of them though, because I was totally fanboying over Betsy Baker because I think, in my opinion, she was like the hottest deadite of the entire series. The chick that was just laying or sitting there on the floor in the first one, just laughing. And Bob, oh my God, I thought she was cute as hell. So when I told her that, she actually blushed a little bit.
She did, really.
Yeah.
Wow. I gotta ask because I've never seen like any later photos or video of her. Does she still look as good as she was back in the 80s? Or
she's older looking. I mean, you got to figure she's got me by at least 20 years, and I'm 47. So I mean, she doesn't look exactly the same. She's still cute for an older lady, you know. Teresa Tilly is also still very attractive in her older years. We wanted to have all three of the women there, but what's her name?
yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Ellen Sandweiss.
Yeah, who played Cheryl?
Yeah. She wasn't available because she had ongoing things that she was doing, still promotions and stuff like that. So she wasn't available.
Right.
I would have loved it. Would have loved it even more if they could have brought their friend Bruce along. Would have been great.
Oh,
That
yeah.
would have been awesome.
Bruce Campbell, what a legend.
It's like, dude, next time you come to Philly, just let me know. I can have you on my YouTube channel. And,
For sure. So, yeah, like, yeah. So as far as deaths in the whole Final Destination franchise, have you seen so far, Tom? What one stuck out for you the most? Because we were just discussing like the one with the tanning beds in the third film. Let's see, the strangulation in the first film that Todd had suffered in the bathroom. Let's see, the razor wire cut in half. Like, was that the one that stood out?
yeah, I think that's the one that stood out the most for me. I know I saw the first three definitely, and that's the one that stood out for me. I mean, outside of the planks of wood or the little logs of wood that were sharpened that came out. Is that what that was? It was wood, right? It wasn't metal, or was it metal?
I thought it was metal.
It might have been metal. So whatever that was, that definitely stood out, and I think that was in the first one, correct?
Piece of metal.
Where somebody was behind the truck,
yeah,
and all the stuff came flying off the truck at them.
Oh, okay. I think that was.
Oh yeah, it might have been the first one. Yeah. Let's see. Like third one had like some of the more gruesome ones. Like let's see. There was. Oh yeah. Well, there was this one, the pervert guy, Frankie, who was always like going after women. You know.
Oh yeah.
When he's killed,
that was the one I was thinking about.
Yep. When he was at a fast food drive-through, you know, it's where they it's like the two main characters managed to get out of the way in time, but there was a collision and an engine was sent flying forward, and the engine fan completely cut away the back of his head.
Oh yeah.
Do you think he deserved that? Like, even though he was a perv, do you think he deserved that?
Yeah, well, I mean, he deserved.
According to death, they all deserved it.
I feel like he should have had something. It's like, I mean, I will say this: I cannot stand guys like that in real life. You know, it's like, you know, I see people who act like that. It's like, dude, really? But I don't think they deserve a comeuppance like that. Like that's like, whew.
I feel like it depends. Like how pervy they are. I feel like it depends.
Yeah, I mean,
it's funny because in an alternate version of that movie, like I guess if you choose for him to like survive that accident, later on he gets arrested for voyeurism.
Oh yeah,
girls.
There was an alternate scene for that. Yeah, that's right.
There's actually a game that's in the third one. It's like you choose like whether you make the choices for them. I think it's like Black Mirror.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, it was like a special features game, like in the third movie. I remember playing it. I remember actually watching it like that.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
I think the most intense, like suspenseful one that I saw anyway was the dude that was already in the hospital and how like everything just kept going wrong in the hospital room, and then the one cart started creeping towards him. Like he was about to get electrocuted or something. I can't remember exactly.
Was that in the second one?
That had to be the second one, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that was like towards the end. Yeah.
Yeah, T.C. Carson's character, I believe that's who that was. Yeah, because we were. I was just telling them he's also known for doing voices in video games. He was Kratos in the God of War franchise. So,
oh wow!
Yeah.
They used to have books called Choose Your Own Adventure. If you can imagine that. Like it would be like, you know, if you pick this, then go to that chapter, and if you pick this, then go to that chapter.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that.
Man.
I think I've seen that being depicted in Family Guy. Like Peter was reading a book like that. Let's see.
He's like, no.
That's exactly what I was talking about. That's exactly what
I didn't do that.
It's like there's no going back, Peter. That's your fate.
I think I remember that one actually.
Yeah,
and they kind of referenced it in Big as well with that program he had. It was like a Choose Your Own Adventure program in Big with Tom Hanks, and it was based off of the books.
Yeah, I love Tom Hanks.
Oh, he's awesome.
Oh yeah, he's great, especially when he reprised playing David Pumpkins again in SNL.
I haven't seen that yet. I've seen it on YouTube,
it's
but like, I haven't clicked on
great.
it.
I'll send it to you. You'll love it.
Wilson. And, another death that stood out in Final Destination 3 is the death of like that guy, that African American guy. What was his name? I know that his name is actor's name. Not even joking. Was his name is Texas Battle.
Texas Battle.
Like, yeah, crazy name. I know him from this and also from Dragon Ball Evolution. Yeah, again. But anyway,
Wow.
his death makes you is like meant to make you afraid of going to the gym. It's like,
Oh my
like
god, yeah, I remember that. Oh, it was intense.
Yeah, like I said, Final Destination is supposed to make you paranoid about literally everything.
On a daily life, yeah.
Yeah.
Keeps you on your toes about your daily life.
Yeah, and and one thing leads to another, and his head is crushed by weights.
All right.
I remember one other death because I told you earlier there were two that stood out. I never told you the second one was I can't remember her name, but the teacher in the first film. Where she just like that just went completely out of control. Like what? It was like a throat, like she accidentally sliced her throat and then like sets her house on fire.
Yeah.
It was like a 0 to 100 thing on like what she did on herself. You know?
It's just like
it's like every possible thing that could go wrong had happened.
It was like there was no limit, no limits at all.
And I would just like to point out, like this has never been brought up by that many people at all.
Oh,
people,
Don,
what?
Don't show these. I'm gonna block.
No. Here,
YouTube, block.
Yeah,
I'm blocking it. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, yeah. One thing I was thought about, like people don't really talk about this, but I'm wondering if that character Miss Luton, if she has some kind of a large inheritance because it's like it showed her house. She's living in that big house alone on a teacher's salary. How is that possible?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 2000s. You could get anything with that type of money. Shit.
Of course you can.
Hey,
you can, of course, sadly.
Yeah, it's probably like that's the thing. If death is after you, also don't live alone. You know.
Oh my god, everybody lived alone.
I know, right? And then, here, wait. So it suddenly turned into Knives Out. But yeah, and so one thing led to another, and then like there's an explosion that caused like or her to get stabbed by the knife, and then like another one to her throat, and Alex ends up being there trying to save her, but ends up getting his fingerprints on the knife, and the FBI is trying to close in on him. So, yeah, didn't you? Oh wait, Nick, what happened, man?
There was someone who tried calling me, and I had to end it very quickly.
Oh wait, he's partially back. About like 90% of his body is back. Wait, 80% now. Wait, it depends on where he goes. Sometimes all you see is just this.
Yeah, he's trying to exist, but not completely.
Right, he lives on parallel planes.
He's here in spirit.
Guys, Nicky's calling me.
Now you see him. Now you don't.
And yet when he's on his phone, he's completely here.
He's on the phone.
Oh wait, no, there you go.
They're saying
phasing out.
11 days.
Join us.
Dying alone and having cats eat your body is a common fear I've heard. Oh, well, hey, I don't have to worry about that because I don't have any cats.
Don't have cats.
I don't have any animals. Unless you count my dad. But he doesn't have real teeth, so I don't have to worry.
Yeah. They don't allow us to have dogs or cats anymore in the condo. So,
yeah. Sorry, guys. That was Nikki. She's going to try to log back in. I actually was calling. I tried actually contacting her first, and then she called me. So that's why I had to mute everything for a minute. So she's going to try again in the next 2 minutes.
Oh, okay.
She called you?
She called me, yeah.
What'd she call you?
Well, because I actually tried.
That's a total dad response, by the way.
It was just, again, I thought it would be easy. It's easier to chat to call through the phone than instead of chatting. So
let's see.
They will find you.
Oh, you mean the cats?
You know what that means, right? If I'm by myself, you're going to have to start coming over here more often because I got 2 cats over here. Or you, Rochelle, and Kevin. You guys, one of you guys will have to come out here to keep an eye on me. So cats don't eat me.
Nope, you're on your own.
They
After
will
everything
find
I've
you.
done for you guys,
They will kill you.
or at least by the least bit, Tom, if you have the power, at least turn me into a pickle.
You can live on
Hey, look, I'm Pickle Nick. All right, everybody, come on. You know, you all want to be like Pickle Nick.
It's pretty good, right?
Yo, spot on, man. Spot on.
Thanks.
You should be the replacement.
I try.
Yeah, you should be the replacement if something happens to the original voice.
Yeah. If
Oh,
Justin,
I don't know.
yeah, if
He did
Roy,
both of them, too.
hey, yo, if Royland retires, you're next in line for that role.
Yeah.
All right. All right. I really
He
appreciate
got that
it.
burp in there and everything.
Oh my
Rick,
God.
why do you always gotta be like that? Shut up, Morty.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
That's insane.
Part of my repertoire there, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna have to
Second
show
only
at
to
some
Carl from Sling Blade, you know.
You know what I'm gonna have to show at some point, Tom, is I should show that clip of the first time that I ever met you when you had that robotic voice.
Oh Christ. Well, that wasn't my voice though. That was just
Yeah, I know.
listen,
it was.
I downloaded a voice changer and it screwed up my computer, and then I went on that live.
You remember that, Don? I
Oh,
showed Don that before.
Yeah. Hey, I don't need a voice changer. My vocal cords are my voice changer. Like if I
That's
wanted to
right.
sound like Pennywise the dancing clown, I can. Yep. Or if I wanted to sound like Super Mario, here we go.
Let's go.
And he's been on the Ouija door. Ha, ha.
And Waluigi.
Yep. And I do that
Oh
voice.
my God.
Like I do like Mario, and I also do like Mickey Mouse for my niece and nephew. You know, like hiya pal, I'm Mickey Mouse. Yeah, because my niece is like 5 years old. Yeah, so she's loving Disney. So
You guys are making my ribs hurt.
He's out there breaking out into like bars of like
Oh my
little
God.
Mermaid and stuff.
You
for
would
his
do a
niece.
better job than Ryan Reynolds.
me or him?
Well,
Me or
I
Tom?
still have to say Ryan Reynolds was great at Deadpool. Let's be honest here.
Hi,
Yeah.
I'm Ryan Reynolds. Like,
Oh,
I can't-
I think- oh my God. Yeah, the thing is, when I hear Ryan Reynolds' voice now, all I'm hearing is Deadpool. Like, 'cause,
Yeah.
'cause I've seen
Yeah.
because I've seen Pokemon Detective Pikachu where he's voicing a Pikachu, but I don't feel like I'm hearing Pikachu. I feel like I'm hearing Deadpool. Like
He's
that's
only
what
missing the
happens when you
curse
get
words.
typecasted.
I've always said before,
Shut the fuck up,
because
Charlie.
I know I've always said this before because I actually do have I believe I have it right here. Kind of like you, Don, with your collections that you have.
Yeah.
I do have the remake of the Amityville Horror, which I know some people liked it, others didn't. I know it's kind of weak, but the fact that you see Ryan Reynolds in
Well,
this,
he's filling big shoes. By
You
the
know,
way.
I
gonna
found
say-
out something about that.
I was gonna say this is one of those movies I would always say that this was back when Ryan Reynolds was before Ryan Reynolds.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that film was also a early film for Chloe Grace Moretz, who played
Yeah, I
that
was
hit
just about
girl.
to say that.
That's right.
And she just posted it on her Instagram like today. I saw it. And I was like, oh my God, she was in that. I just saw it
Even
today
more
too
amazing.
on her
It's
Instagram.
even, it's
Oh,
even
yeah.
more amazing that when they made that remake of Amityville, I was not too far from us because they actually shot that through some areas of Chicago and
Yep.
further up north in Silver Lake, Wisconsin, which is just like an hour and a half away. So I didn't realize until several years later that, oh man, they actually shot it just basically in our neighborhood.
Yeah. Children of the Corn was
Well,
shot in Illinois
see?
too.
It was.
You should do a filming locations video and put it
I
on your
should.
YouTube channel.
I would love to.
Yeah,
Like,
If you
Yeah.
come out to Chicago, Tom, you need to do an episode of This Is Tom's World for
Yeah.
that.
and hey,
I
the Home
will.
Alone house is not that far from here.
Yeah, it's literally like for me, it's like literally about like 25 minutes away from me.
That's where
Yeah.
you were born.
Unfortunately, no, it's a private residence, so you can't go in.
Oh yeah,
You
I
check
mean,
the exterior
sucks.
out, but you just
I mean,
can't go inside.
you could stay on the public sidewalk and take pictures from there. I mean, that's about as much
Yeah.
as you can do. I mean,
I mean, my first long trip to do video is actually going to be in the Pittsburgh area because there are multiple locations for multiple movies, horror movies.
Yep.
That were filmed in the 60s, 70s, 80s in the Pittsburgh area.
It's funny to think how like horror movies throughout the 60s and 70s and even part of the 80s, it's like they always shifted geographically. It was like Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, and then it's like they moved it to New York, then like at times to California, and nowadays we're starting to see a lot more of that in Chicago.
Well, Pittsburgh, you got the Night of the Living Dead.
Yep,
the original and the remake.
That's right.
You have another movie franchise of which you talked about that I happen to be on, the Creep Show franchise. A lot of it was filmed out that way. Here
she comes again. Oh, hey, Nikki.
Hey, hello.
Hello.
Good, thanks. How are you? Hello. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Great. Good to meet you.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, no problem.
A pleasure.
Yeah.
Finally got connection.
You had to be in your car and on your phone, but you got a connection.
Nikki, I gotta ask, what time is it over there right now in Australia?
It is 11:45 a.m.
Oh wow! So you guys are just starting your day.
Yep. Looking forward to it. Door starts
10:45 p.m. here.
Yeah. So, yeah, Nikki, we were just discussing Final Destination franchise. Yeah, started in 2000, and I think the last one was about 11 years ago, 2011.
2011.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's been a while. So,
awesome.
I'm just wondering what new direction they're going to take it if they plan to continue it. But, yeah, what is it? If so, you've seen the franchise, right? Which film is your favorite?
Brad?
I can't actually choose. They're my favorite.
Oh yeah, all of them are great. You know, all of them have unique characters and some of the most brutal deaths I've seen in most films. But yeah, I would have to say like the third one had definitely had the better cast, the better acting. Yeah, and also one of the most brutal, arguably the most brutal of all deaths. So involving tanning beds, that was chilling. Yeah, another reason why I will never use those things ever.
Nope.
Yeah, but if you watch Friends at all, then you should know not to use the spray booths either, because Ross had a problem with them, where he got 4 2s in the front and nothing in the back, and then he went back to another place to try to rectify it, only to find out that there were sprays on both sides and he didn't know which way to stand, and he got another 2 on this side, and then he turned around and got another 2 on this side. So you got to watch out for the spray booths too.
Yeah,
here we go with the logs again.
Everybody's talking about the logs.
The whole reason we don't drive behind stuff is with a load of logs.
Yeah,
one of the first things I said when I came on.
Yep. So yeah,
back to the log conversation.
Yep. The second film is the reason why I'm always cautious about driving behind vehicles that have big stuff on their flatbeds, their truck beds.
Could be worse. It could be pickles. Sorry.
Wait. Tanning beds.
And then it was silent.
Grilled cheese for
a crowd. I don't know what to say about that.
But you could do the same with like the little things that they have at the place where they do dry cleaning too. Just.
I think
it'll just be soggy grilled cheese, but still.
Yeah, soggy sandwich. No, thank you.
Hey, it's easier to digest.
Still, the idea of a soggy bread sandwich. Yeah, no, thank you.
Oh no, like she just lost. She probably just lost.
Oh look, we just scared her off.
No, she lost. You saw that she was walking, so she probably lost connection.
Oh man. Oh wow! So, what did I say?
I'm just going to say this conversation's gone all different directions.
Yes,
and
Nick, has. You should definitely see the Nick, you should definitely see the 5th film because it actually does connect with the first one in a way you would never expect.
Oh my god! I love the ending for the 5th film. The 5th film for the ending was just like it really mind fucked me, like with the timeline.
Oh yeah. Wait, with the timeline and its connection to what happened in the first film.
The first one. Yeah, and it made me think, like, what timeline did the fifth film take place in? And then once I had to rewatch the fifth one, it actually took place around the same time.
Was it the second or the third one that ended in the movie theater?
Oh,
I think it was
the fourth one.
The fourth one.
Okay, then I saw
Yeah,
that
the
one
fourth
too
one.
for sure.
It's like you can't even be safe in a movie theater.
Oh my
Not
god,
safe
that
anywhere.
reminded me of like the you know, like, remember the Dark Knight movie that came out and there was the shooter in that movie theater?
Who is she?
Oh wait, you're
Yeah.
referring to the Dark Knight Rises shooter, or the Aurora shootings in 2012.
Yeah, that, like, oh yeah, that specifically. But either way, like, that's still pretty scary, you know?
Yeah, like there were terrifying things that could happen.
Night Rises.
The Dark Knight Rises.
Don, really quickly, Nikki just messaged me. She did apologize of the technical issues once again. She wanted me to let you guys know, but she's going to try to come back on hopefully one more time before the show's over.
I understand.
Yeah.
I gotcha. But yeah.
The Dark Knight Rises.
Well, perhaps she's wondering why someone would shoot a man before throwing him out of a plane.
Don't worry.
You want to know how I got these scars?
My father, when I was a kid, he said, "Why so serious? Why so serious?" Oh yes, my father said the same thing to me too.
Father knows best.
How on earth did we get to this conversation about like talking Final Destination to this?
Yeah. This just went to different. This is just getting weird.
You know
Well,
what?
see, the factor is that you have me here, and I'm scatterbrained. So I'll
Here
do
she
that.
is. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, hang on. Yeah, Nikki, just take your time. Whenever you're able to come back on, go right ahead. So
Yeah, for sure.
Whenever you
We
want to come
understand.
back, we will be here.
Well, with that being said, I'm going to take a bathroom break. I'll be right back, y'all.
All right.
But
That's-
yeah, in all seriousness, guys, like like in all seriousness, it's like sometimes you're not even safe in a movie theater. You know, like that
No.
as that film, as Final Destination had demonstrated. Because I tell you, Nick, I went to see the Joker, Walking Phoenix Joker, back in 2019 when it came out. I was like, I made sure like I was sitting right next to like an exit, like as everybody, like a lot of people were scared to go to the movie theater.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. So like my family was just saying, Don, please be careful if you're going to see that, because there are a lot of weirdos out there. You don't know how.
Well, there always is, though.
Yeah.
Well, just be careful, because I remember this also from the Joker. Just make sure you avoid people who say they're going to show you a magic trick. They will make that pencil disappear.
And no matter what they say, do not follow them back to their van, because they do not have candy.
No.
I've gone there. There is no candy.
Yep. There's no candy. It was all a lie.
It was.
Wait,
And-
Tom, you got a story to tell us?
Well, my father, when I was a kid.
And now I'm always smiling.
You want to know how I got the scars?
But
I know how you got these.
And now my farts sound like.
Okay. No. Wait.
Oh my
Candy-
God,
Candy's expensive now. Some may
We'll make
pay
this
price.
twice.
Yeah. So it turns out they do have candy, but they're charging $100 per bar.
That's
Do you
right.
remember that?
Giggity.
I gotta bring this up quickly. You guys remember that Family Guy skit when Peter was a child, and then there was like some guy that was pulling up on the next to him saying if he wants some candy, but he avoided it, and then later found out that he actually did have candy. And then the next man that came up to him, he jumped in and said that he got. You remember that one, right? Oh my God!
But, yeah.
No,
So
I don't want your candy.
So Nick, so like Nick, Final Destination 5, you haven't seen it yet, right?
I have not seen any of the others other than the first one.
Other than the first one? Oh, you gotta watch the
I
sequels.
told
then.
you that. I seen the first
Oh
one.
yeah, you gotta
The-
watch the sequels.
The second and third are pretty good.
Someone remind Nick to breathe.
I think like the third one and the fifth one are the best sequels.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that was funny.
Yeah, I mean, and
It's
also
weird in horror movies. That seems to be the thing. Like if there's a series of them, like the first one is cool, the third one is awesome. You know, like it's
You're
like
always
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're always
Third
gonna
one was
have
great.
like when you make a franchise, you always are gonna have those movies where some of them are gonna be great, some others are not gonna be so good. That's just typical of how franchises are.
Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street. The first one was cool. The second one sucked ass. I'm
Actually,
sorry,
someone told me that
Jesse
they
and
liked
him
the
coming
second
out
one.
his body. No, I wasn't buying all that. But the third one was like the mecca of the series. Now the fourth one kind of echoed the third one quite a bit because it had some of the same characters in it.
yeah,
It's
And the
too
fifth
many
one was
parks now.
okay. Then when they got to what was it, the sixth
Oh.
one where it was like Freddy's daughter
yeah.
was in it. That one was okay. Like they had the 3D factor, which really when I was in the movie theater and I put the 3D glasses on, it sucked. It
Oh,
really
here.
did.
Oh, here, Jeremy's bringing up the tanning bed again.
With the
Oh, there
with
it
the
is.
airbag pushing the woman's head into the spike. The other one
That was the
fire
second one.
Man, everybody sure is really having quite the interest of the tanning bed.
Well, can you blame him? It showed two girls being burned alive in a tanning bed.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is why if I ever wanted to tan, this is why I'd rather end up like Kramer in Seinfeld when he had the butter all over him.
Oh,
You remember that, right, Tom?
Yeah, I do. But unfortunately for these two girls, what was left of them kind of closely resembled that dude that was in Beetlejuice. It's like, want a cigarette? Like, I mean, it was pretty much what was left of them.
Yeah, and
I'm back.
hey, welcome back. Yeah,
You've been gone, Jeremy. You haven't been watching. What the hell? You said you were going to watch.
yeah. Come on, man. Come on, Jer. But yeah, also Nick. Yeah, the second film there actually was pretty tense scene involving a trip to the dentist. So yeah, you're not safe at the dentist either.
Oh boy,
God, I hate the dentist.
Do I
Even as a kid. Mm-mm.
do I even ask? Because I don't know I don't know if because it's going to sound nasty or if it's because I don't know if I'm spoiling.
No,
Do
man.
I dare ask?
Spoiling the second Final Destination after how many years? If people haven't watched it by
Yeah.
now,
Who hasn't watched it by now?
It's been almost 20 years now, man. Like how?
Hey, I've
it's
been
like, listen, I don't want to spoil the end of Psycho for you.
Just like I've seen Psycho though. Okay,
Listen, at the end of the birds,
For those who haven't
the
seen
birds, this
Psycho.
thing's happened.
I'm just like Jeremy. I too get busy once in a while.
Oh, that's a little more information than we need. I'm just saying, you know.
Oh yeah, but yeah, Nick. There's like another scene involving a dentist where a 15-year-old kid goes to the dentist, but nearly suffocates from like for what was that thing that they used to put like
Oh,
numb you
yeah,
or
the
make you
gas
unconscious.
mask
Yeah,
or-
that. Yeah.
Trying to
Yeah,
think
where
of
you
the
almost
gas,
suffocated
the
on that.
nitrous oxide.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So basically, in Final Destination franchise, you're not safe anywhere. Literally anywhere. Yeah.
Not even sleeping in your own bed.
Nope.
I know
That
that
could be like a bottle of water could fall off your nightstand,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden the light starts creeping slowly towards the water, and there's an exposed wire on the bottom, and then all of a sudden the sheet catches, and now you're on fire. And
Yeah. I'm pretty sure like if I was in Final Destination, if I had cleared out my entire condo of literally everything, not a single item, I'm sure if I was sleeping like somewhere like on my bed, I'm pretty sure like the death would kill me by just collapsing my entire roof on top of me somehow.
or a rabid rat comes in and bites you.
There are no rats in my condo.
well,
Well,
Tom,
not now, but like you would have all that room.
Not
Tom,
now,
you
not
think
ever.
about here's another
The other-
related doubt. Here's another doubt. You may not even be safe in a bathtub, and this is another Family Guy reference. Remember when Peter came up with that story of the evil soap bar? Remember that?
I don't remember that one.
Oh man.
Anything could happen to you.
Let's see. Oh, I'd say get a bubble, but that would kill you too.
Right? It would run out of oxygen, and it
Yep.
would start sucking in and then suffocate you.
Cats and raccoons.
Cats and raccoons. Uh-oh. I got the cats.
Uh-oh. You're screwed.
Another idea. I mean, Don, this is another possibility is where, you have like the AC running or the heat running or something, then something breaks down while you're asleep, and next thing you know, your place is on fire or something like that.
Jesus. Yeah, my place goes on fire. I'm diving right out the window.
Or a slow death from
like-
carbon monoxide.
Yeah,
I would dive out. I would dive out
over the
window.
course of weeks.
Yeah, I may break. I may. Hey, it's like I'm trying. If my place is on fire, I'm diving out the window. Sure, my legs might break from the impact, but don't care. I prefer that over burning alive.
Just make sure
Oh my
that you're
God,
not
that's like the scene of Final Destination 2 when the guy had a fire in his apartment and he fell off the fire escape, and then the fire escape ladder crushed him eventually. So
Well, it impaled his eye. Yes, but yeah, you're right.
What was to save him killed him.
Hey, just make sure, Don,
The
if
irony.
you jump out, just make sure if you jump out, and even if you break your legs or something, just make sure you're not in a construction zone where you could be run over by a tractor.
Oh, yeah.
Or slowly run over by a steamroller.
A steamroller.
Like in Austin Powers, Michael McDonald's just like,
Carbon monoxide sinks in compared to oxygen.
yep.
Sorry.
Let's see, what was that actor's name? David Patko. Yeah, he who played Evan, who was killed by that fire escape ladder. He was in several other horror films, some pretty bad ones. Alien vs. Predator Requiem. He was also in I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. I hate that movie so much.
God,
What is that?
was
Like the third one or something?
Yes.
It is
the
the
third
third
one.
one, and it is.
There should have never been a second one.
It sucks. I hate the third one.
If you want to kind of compare, Tom, like if you had to watch one of two movies without a choice, I would definitely watch I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, but do not ever watch I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer.
I watched the second one. I hated it.
Third one's worse.
The first one wasn't all that great either. I mean, it was okay.
Had a good cast.
Yeah. But the movie itself as a horror movie was like okay.
This goes right again what I was just saying.
It's like the Nickelodeon version of horror movies, like it might as well have been on Goosebumps or something,
Or Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, but I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. Even the twist is horrible. Like when they were,
Twist?
yeah, and also, yeah, a fisherman killer in Colorado, far away from any kind of fishing villages.
Yeah. I don't know what to say.
And the friggin' Gordon's fishermen's coming after them, and
With the hooker and all that stuff. You're like, hey.
But yeah, that movie is stupid. Now we're seeing, like, that is one of the worst horror films I've ever seen. That, along with House of the Dead, one movie that we're definitely going to have to tear into on this podcast.
Never seen it.
I look forward to ripping that film a new one.
Mm.
Yeah, a film that poorly made by that terrible filmmaker Uwe Boll deserves it.
They got 3 old ones, but he wants to rip them a new one.
But yeah, House of the Dead. Like, I just want to say, I feel sorry for every poor soul that paid money to see that film in theaters.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, and did I pay it? Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, and Nick, did I see a pay to see House of the Dead? No, I saw it at a friend's house.
Thank
I'm
God.
just gonna say one thing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Hey, you're gonna have to see it too if we're gonna cover it. So you're gonna feel my
I mean,
pain too, man.
You know what? You're gonna
At
have
least
to
it's not for free.
apologize.
You didn't have to pay for it.
You're gonna have
Yeah.
to apologize to me when I do see it, just like I just apologized to you.
Okay, here's a sample of it. There was a piece of dialogue that I consider some of the stupidest dialogue in history, where the good guy tells the villain, "You created it all so you could be immortal. Why?" And he says, "To live forever." Stupidest dialogue ever.
No, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, it is. It is terrible.
It sounds really bad already. Just hearing that.
Yeah, that's what you're in for, Nick.
You really want me to get into this?
Well, if we are going to cover it, you're going to have to see it too.
Can I just guess what goes on in the movie?
It's where a bunch of guys go to an island for a rave, because that's totally something people
Island
do.
rave?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And how like there's so much about it makes no sense. It has to be seen to be believed.
Seems legit.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And a guy who they had to charter a boat in last minute with like a for like a few $1,000s and or like $1,000 or so, and the rich and one of the guys just happens to have that amount of money in cash in his wallet.
Wow.
I just
Oh my
happen to be
God.
carrying that right
Yeah.
here.
I mean, I only carry like a few 20s in my wallet. That's it. You know, I don't carry several $100 bills like that guy did. Is saying, "Oh, okay, I'm just gonna have this just in case we need to do something really expensive last minute."
Unless I'm at a casino, I don't carry cash at all.
Oh my God. I didn't know that you even go to casinos, Tom, because guess what? I do too.
I've been going to
You go
AC
to
quite a
casinos?
bit.
I've got not frequently, but like whenever I'm going on my paranormal road trips, like Tom and I, if we're like near a casino area, we'll often usually go. And not to mention too, we often usually see there's Tom, you should know this game probably. There's one game in particular I play a lot, and this is how we always go. It's Buffalo. You know that one?
That's
Oh,
my
I didn't see that
girlfriend's
one.
game.
I play it.
That is like our favorite game, and I've won a few times. And
I think I won
The
like
last
the minor a few times on that.
see, the last time I played that was actually at the Michigan Paracon, and unfortunately I lost. And I told Tom about that because he wasn't at that event, but he's like, "You need me to be there so you can win." And even I was saying to him, "No, not Tom McNicholas, not
Right.
not
Yeah, I know. I knew you
Yeah,
were talking about
Tom
me.
McNicholas."
We've never met in person, much less
Yeah.
gone to a casino.
Yeah, but he said that, and even when I lost, I'm like, "Oh, damn it, where's Tom when you need him?" Because every time he's here, I always somehow, well, not every time, but every now and then I'll win a game.
That is my girlfriend's game. When we go to Atlantic City, we stay at the Hard Rock Casino.
Oh, nice.
And we both have like cards there and stuff. But she's had her card a long time, so she gets better perks than I do. But when we go there, that's where she spends the majority of her time. Is at one specific Buffalo machine, and my machine is like a hot hit kind of machine. It's called. It's like directly across from it. But every time we've gone there for the last like 3 times, somebody is at it the entire time we're there. We could be in the casino for like 6 hours between gambling and going to get something to eat and stuff like that. But there'll be one person at that machine the entire time, and they're hitting like this. And then when they finally get off, I blow through my money and I'm done. All right.
Wow.
That's my Atlantic City experience. I need to go to Vegas, I think.
You know
I
what,
need to go
Tom?
too.
One of these days we're gonna have to meet up, and we're gotta play Buffalo.
Yes. Yeah, and
I'm telling you,
and Nick,
that's Stephanie's game.
yeah. So back to Final Destination now, Nick.
Sorry.
Yeah, I gotcha. But yeah, as for the fifth film, also has an interesting premonition. Like this time, the disaster is a bridge collapsing.
What?
Yeah, like in the fifth
Bridge
film.
collapsing.
Yep, there's like a bridge collapse. Like because people are allowed to use this bridge while under construction. Yeah, because that doesn't spell disaster. And so everything collapses, but they managed to get off. And then, oh man, that's get brutal from there. And you should also see the ending scene, though, like that the credit scene, like right at the beginning. There's like a montage of like a majority of the brutal deaths of the entire franchise with AC/DC's "If You Want Blood" playing.
Yeah, I thought that would have been like the last movie because it had like the montage and everything, and then like how the movie itself kind of like looped back to the first one. I would have assumed that the Final Destination 5 would have been the very last one because of how it ended.
Like the Silver Bridge collapse.
I don't think it was the Silver Bridge, but
no. She's referring to the real life Silver Bridge
Oh
collapse.
yeah, that happened back in like the 60s, didn't it?
19 December, actually now almost 55 years ago, December 15, 1967. And that often usually is associated with a lot of because it occurred in Point Pleasant, that's often associated with the Mothman sightings.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They made a movie about that, the Mothman Prophecies.
Yes, and you know what?
Richard Gere.
That had 20 years ago.
Yeah, that had Richard Gere.
Richard Gere was in it, and it was shot. Yeah, it was
Mothman?
shot throughout the majority of the Mothman.
Yeah, I was gonna say only 2 seconds of that because otherwise this is gonna get.
Listen,
Otherwise,
I know I'm not new to social media. You know,
Yeah,
I'm,
otherwise
I'm an old head here with this.
yeah, I don't need one of my videos blocked.
No,
But I was just gonna. No, you're not gonna have your video blocked. It would just be dings. Like you would lose a part.
well, that part of it would
Just be
become
flagged.
for
Yeah, you
for
would just be
Facebook.
muted.
That part of it will become muted.
Yeah, 'cause
However,
You're
on
not gonna have your
YouTube,
video banned.
it could become a strike if you go longer than that.
Yeah,
That's a different story altogether. See,
Yeah, 'cause
I
we
know
were-
these things.
yeah,
but
because
to
a week
answer
ago,
what, like what
because a
Sarah.
week-
Go ahead.
I was just saying, like a week ago, I posted a reaction video for this show called Death Battle, which is where they pit 2 characters to a fight to the death. Like in some episodes, there was like Goku versus Superman, and there was let's see, He-Man versus Lion-O, or what else? Oh yeah, Terminator versus RoboCop. But in this episode, it was focusing on Jason Voorhees versus Michael Myers. I like that was an awesome video for me to react to. And then my reaction video got blocked right when I posted it.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm upset about that.
Cheap.
Yeah, I don't blame you. But what I was just gonna say really quickly, I mean, like what Sarah was talking about. Yeah, like I said, Mothman Prophecies. That was actually filmed throughout the majority of Point Pleasant, and that should be another movie at some point, Don. We should cover.
Oh, the Mothman Prophecies.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, it's been ages since I've seen that, but
I haven't.
oh yeah, like because I think someone in my family got it, which is weird to me because most of my family doesn't like horror like I do. So
Did they
It's more-
recently reboot that or something? Or
No, well, no, they okay. Back to the Sci-Fi Channel. They about 2011 they made a Mothman movie of their own, which in no way, shape, or form it has no connections at all to like the real life case. I mean, the only real life
no, stop.
they only have like
Sorry.
the real life. The only like real life connection is obviously the Mothman itself, but they display it in a completely different way. It's nothing true to the real life events. So I would say don't ever see the Mothman sci-fi movie. It's just really the Mothman Prophecies that they made.
okay, I think I've come across the newer Mothman movie you were just talking about.
No,
It says,
don't.
it says
Don't
it's-
watch it.
it says it's got a 3.4 out of 10 stars on IMDb.
Yeah,
Okay, so
right?
yeah,
Yeah, don't.
Out of
Watch
10?
out of 10,
3
yeah.
out of 10.
3.4 out of 10 stars on IMDb. So that's like the same rating as that they gave Batman and Robin. So yeah, not seeing it.
Yeah, don't.
Listen,
I mean,
I didn't mind Batman and Robin. You know, I mean, it was a different element. You know, it wasn't good. It
plot
didn't
was
have
terrible.
the dark feeling of Batman. You know what I mean? But it was more of a lighthearted thing. You know, it was.
Yeah.
You had Jim Carrey. You had Tommy Lee Jones. You had it was different. It was more like the Fox animated series.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
which I liked.
it's like they had good actors, but the casting was like all over the place. Like, but the worst casting, like Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. I mean, really?
guys, I'll be back in
Please.
just a sec. My computer's just about to die, and I just realized I forgot to bring my cord. So I'll be back in just a second.
Okay.
Ooh.
Everybody,
Okay.
please put the diamond down.
Okay.
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. I'm like, yeah, no, it didn't.
It was a meteor. You idiot.
Yep. Or yep. It could have been a meteor, could have been virus. Yeah, we don't really know.
That's it. It was COVID.
Yep. COVID killed the dinosaurs. That's the new theory.
COVID killed the dinosaurs.
Seriously, seriously, seeing that just makes me want to watch Jingle All the Way. That's saying something.
Oh my god, that movie.
Put the cookie down.
Yeah, seriously, I would rather watch Jingle All the Way than Batman and Robin.
It sounded like Arnold
Please.
Schwarzenegger that you were talking, right, Tom?
We were,
No,
Yep.
not me.
but
Put the cookie down.
but
Get
yeah,
to the chopper.
yeah, Predator. we also got to cover Predator at some point, Nick.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, but
There we go.
yeah, this Mothman movie that you were talking about. Let me pull up a picture. I want to see what they made.
Yeah, you're gonna know immediately. It's bad. It's really bad.
Oh, for God's sake!
Right? Yeah, I told you.
Yeah, even they made him look horrible in that.
Yeah, they make him. You're not even supposed to see him. You're not. He's supposed to be a dark winged figure, and they show him right off the bat, and he actually is attacking people, which there's never really been like actual. Very few, if any, reports of the real Mothman actually attacking people in real life.
Looks so stupid in this.
I know, right?
Wow.
About as stupid as the new Freddy Krueger looked.
Well,
or the new Chucky.
The new Chucky. Oh,
I mean,
new
I
Chucky.
understand with the new Freddy, they were trying to make it look more realistic with the
yeah.
But no, I'm sorry. If you're not Robert Englund, you're not Freddy Krueger.
Right.
Yeah,
And they
agreed.
have plenty of masks that can fit on normal, like everyday faces that look like Robert Englund, and the mouth moves and all that. So they could have done that without CGI.
Yeah,
And it would have been nice. But no,
Or they could have
like-
done classic FX makeup. Like, it's not so hard to make burn marks out of coffee grounds if they were really on a budget.
Yeah,
And if they could shape the face to look more like Robert Englund, so he doesn't have to do it because he said he didn't want to do Freddy anymore, then so be it.
He always says that he's not going to.
And
do
the
it.
voice
Yeah,
is
he
easy. You just lower the octave of the, it's,
yeah, I mean,
And you just gotta talk like this.
it's.
Welcome to prime time, bitch.
yeah. He's been retired from that role almost 20 years now. Freddy versus Jason was his last performance.
Well, he did make a comeback on the Goldbergs in
Oh,
one episode.
Yeah.
He did. Yes,
as
one
Freddy
episode.
Krueger.
Well, here's the thing. He always keeps claiming that he's going to retire, yet he always will dress up when he goes to horror film conventions, including there was one occasion he came over here to Chicago to be with Svengoolie, and he was all dressed up in his Robert Englund, his Freddy Krueger costume, everything.
Wow.
I feel like that's different than like actually making an appearance in movies though, or like TV shows.
Yeah, but it still requires a lot of makeup work.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
but
much like though with Bruce Campbell saying he's not going to be Ash, the reason he's doing that is because he can't do the physical act, like comedy acting, like he used to. You know what I mean? He doesn't want to do that, and that's expected with Ash.
Yeah.
Even when he was in his career as Ash in Ash vs. Evil Dead, there was some physical comedy to that. You know what I mean? Like when he had the guy's legs around him and he was coming through his his thing. Yeah.
And yes, Sarah. Yeah, in fact, Robert Englund around the same time has hosted a paranormal show now on the Travel Channel. It's True Terror with Robert.
glove.
Yeah, True Terror with Robert Englund, and I saw the show. It's really good because he's just the host and he narrates.
Yeah.
But the time that they released the show, I'm surprised they didn't wait to the October Halloween season because you could clearly tell he's standing in front of a blue or green screen. It's a cemetery and stuff.
I can't imagine what it's like to look at somebody that's in front of a green screen. I really can't.
Well, no, and I was just the
especially if
whole
it says the Nick files behind them. I can't.
Well, the thing is that they you look at the setting and you think it looks more like something that should have been released around like the October Halloween season, but they instead released it. I think it was like during the month of June. So I'm like, surprised they couldn't wait till October. It was just a few weeks away, but it is a good show though. He does a good job hosting and narrating it.
Plus, Robert Englund's voice versus Freddy's voice is a much different thing.
Yeah,
it's completely different.
Robert Englund's voice is like up here, and you got Freddy.
He's down here.
Yeah, like Jackie Earle Haley's voice as Freddy was just like so, where it's like, nice try, Nancy. Now let me take a stab.
It was horrible. I to be honest, to this day, as many times as I've tried to watch that movie, I cannot make it more than 20 minutes into the movie before I'm asleep.
The remake?
Yeah, I can't do it.
See, I'll be honest with you. I actually did see the remake in theaters, even though I really didn't want to. And I was still in high school at that time.
Wow.
Bones?
I think a movie that makes me fall asleep is like 30 Days of Night. Every time I watch it, after this movie, like 30 Days of Night, yeah, like for me, I fall asleep when I watch it. Whenever it goes past the scene where all the vampires come out of because they're in Alaska. It takes place in Alaska,
Yeah.
and when the vampires come out and everybody starts dying in the village, like after that scene, I just pass out. I just fall
I'm
asleep.
surprised. I
Yeah.
liked 30 Days of Night.
Yeah,
Well, I don't mean it in
alright.
a bad way. Like that movie, I is one of my favorites when I was a kid. It's just I've seen it so many times at this point, I fall asleep just
Yeah.
like The Dark Knight. It's one of my favorite movies, but like it's not bad. It's just one of those movies where I just fall asleep to. You know, it's like
yes, The
like a
Dark
bedtime
Knight.
story.
Yeah, well, with Nightmare on Elm Street, though, I've never made it through the movie at all. Like, I mean, like, I can't. I
Good
just
for
get
you.
so bored
Good
with,
for
with
you.
that version of it. It's ridiculous. I mean, I would sooner watch Nightmare on Elm Street 2 than watch that one. Because
Yeah,
at
we're
least
done.
that one I can make it through, even though I don't like it.
Yeah,
I
we're
mean-
gonna have to have you on, Tom, for when we go over Nightmare on Elm Street, because I am planning on doing that within the next few months.
You know,
Like right after the holiday season's over.
You know, I gotta say, what's even more irritating about that remake, by the way, I'm just gonna say this, is that they have been showing that now, and they just did, a couple weeks ago. They have been showing that as part of their collection of horror films for AMC's FearFest, like for Halloween. They decide to they choose the remake over the original films.
Yeah.
And while on the topics of remakes, Evil Dead. Didn't hate it, didn't love it. I just know the only reason I made it through that movie was because I know it takes place on a different plane of existence, like a different like a multiverse of sorts. You know what I mean? Like it's going alongside the original story, so it's not replacing it. It's just in a different realm. Because and you know this because like originally the idea, if that took off, was to combine the two different worlds, to bring Ash together with that chick from the remake.
Huh.
And you know that that's true because at the very end of the movie, after the credits finally finish, you see a silhouette of a familiar profile and it says Groovy.
That's right.
So you know that they were meant to be back together, but it just never happened because that didn't take off. And I will say the effects were better than the original by far. I just think the original was better.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The stop motion animation, the different choices of colors of blood to represent the different thing. Like, I mean, it wasn't always the same color blood that would spew out of things.
Oh yeah,
whether it be people or deadites, or which they didn't have a name at the time. They weren't deadites, but still.
You didn't know what the hell they were.
Yeah. Oh, here, Sarah is asking, are you doing a Thanksgiving horror for next week? Yes, we are. We're planning on doing a childhood favorite of mine, a classic Hitchcock thriller called The Birds.
Yeah,
I mentioned that earlier.
Yep.
I was literally expecting Rochelle to just like blurt out things killing.
Yeah. But honestly, The Birds is my mom's personal favorite horror movie. She saw that in theaters when she was a teenager.
Yeah, that was back in 1963.
Yes,
Yeah.
almost 60 years ago.
And I did my research on that film. And like I watched an interview, like a more recent interview with Tippi Hedren, you know who was the main character of the film.
Yeah, she was still alive today.
Yeah, I actually learned something that I was kind of shocked about. You're familiar with I'm sure you're all familiar with 50 Shades of Grey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dakota Johnson, the actress who plays Anna in that, she's Tippi Hedren's granddaughter.
Ooh,
Really?
Yeah.
the more you know.
Oh yeah.
And
And
every day.
and the guy who interviewed Tippi said, "So have you seen any of the 50 Shades of Grey movies?" And she's like, "Nope."
I've never seen the movies actually.
I don't want to see
No,
my
I
granddaughter
haven't.
like
I've
that.
never seen the movies.
I haven't either.
That makes three of us.
No, I read one of the books because it was a thing
did
in high
not.
school for us to do, but like I've never seen the movies.
Yeah, in college we just read the books just to like mess with one another, like read the sentence out loud. You know?
And then he took.
Oh my god.
No, we're gonna get flagged. This is gonna be an adult rated video now. Don't say any of the make no references.
Hey, you know what? To prevent the X-ray, I'll just say that this is rated G for Gorilla Glue.
They're not gonna get that, Nick. That's too inside.
No, most people know.
They're not gonna get that. Yeah, but my audience is not gonna get that. It's inside.
We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Well, somebody did try to use it as a shampoo or something at one
Yeah,
point.
there was a lady who did.
That SNL skit. Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, there was of course.
It really happened.
She's
it actually happened.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, not to mention, actually,
yeah.
Someone once said there was a lady who was famous. I always say, well, she's infamous.
And her name is.
She's the reason why there's warning labels on it.
Yeah. So to wrap this up, Final Destination. It's not the best horror film franchise, but it is very unique. I can see what they were trying to do, but it's like the kind of thing you want to see if you want to get freaked out by literally everything around you. It makes you super paranoid.
I definitely enjoyed the first.
I just thought of something. I'm sorry, I got to bring this up one more time, Don. I just have another good Final Destination death. As if someone was desperate of putting Gorilla Glue in their hair, and then all of a sudden they stick their head to the ceiling and they're like lighting a cigarette, so that sets something on fire. You put Gorilla Glue on that ceiling, you're never gonna run away. You're gonna burn right away.
See, why didn't Final Destination think of that? Where Gorilla Glue should have been one of a death scene.
Yeah.
That would have been something super interesting to see.
Would have been a great murder weapon.
Literally anything's a murder weapon in Final Destination franchise, so why not?
Yeah.
So you're just gonna have to add more. You're just gonna have to add more to the warning label, and as they always say, if you manage to survive it, that's when you can sue the hell out of them, because it didn't say on the disclaimer that I couldn't do this.
But
They said, don't try this at home. They didn't say that.
Yeah,
I'm surprised she used Gorilla Glue instead of the Nair. Like the Nair stuff that's like hair removal. Like, I'm surprised she used Gorilla Glue instead of Nair.
Yeah, because at least with Nair, your fingers aren't going to get stuck in there. They'll just come out and they'll have hair on them.
No, her fingers weren't stuck. She just used the spray on it.
Yeah, but Nick, definitely watch the sequels to Final Destination. So Nick,
Go ahead, Don.
definitely see the sequels to Final Destination if you haven't. Yeah, they're man, it gets
at least
brutal.
The first few are really good.
Yeah, the first three. I'm mostly a fan of the first one, third one, and fifth one.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, for me, it's the second one, the third one, and the fifth one.
Yeah, for me, second one's all right. Fourth one is just like, nah. Yeah, they could have been better.
They were reaching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I forgot to mention this in Final Destination for the mother of those two boys is definitely probably not winning any Mother of the Year awards, because they're at that speedway. I still can't believe she did this. I guess to be funny, she was having her sons put tampons in her ears because the race got too loud. I'm just like, who the hell does that?
I mean, I know for a nosebleed, that's one thing.
If you have a nosebleed, if you actually have a nosebleed and you stuff a tampon up there, it can work. It can legitimately work.
Yeah, but who in their right mind would have their children put that in their ears?
I mean, fuck it. When you got something, if you need it, like, right on the go, and that's the only thing, what would you do? Would you want your kids' eardrums to be blasted out, or would you want them to be protected?
Or
you just not take them there. It's like there's an option there. Just don't take them there somewhere where you got to put tampons in their ears.
It's like you're having your children do this, and also you're having your sons do this and in public too. Like you're just
The solution is just don't take them.
Leave them at home. Let them be on their tablets and their Xboxes and their gaming computer. Listen, he's on his Alienware and he's playing Gmod right now. All right, so he's all right.
Yeah, he's on Xbox playing Grounded. He's playing Call of Duty on.
That's right. He's playing Modern Warfare 2.
Because
he wanted to be nostalgic.
Yeah, Nick, I've been playing this new game called Grounded. It's like, you ever seen the movie Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
I
Oh,
saw
I
it.
heard
Oh
of
my
that.
god.
I've heard of
I've
it,
watched
yeah.
people play that.
Yeah,
Don,
that
I'm going to be
game.
It's
completely
good.
honest with you. I have not seen that movie in like
Well, the game.
well over, I'm not even joking, well over 25 years, if not even more.
Well,
Probably when I was
well,
like 2.
well,
It
the
has
game.
been
Well,
a
way.
long time.
well, the game is
That's
pretty
about
much.
as long as
well,
I've been around.
Well, Nick, the game is pretty much like that. You're like shrunk, and you're like trying to survive inside of a backyard, and there's bugs everywhere, and you're also trying to avoid giant spiders.
Right. There's just no Rick Moranis, you know. No, I am the gatekeeper. Are you the key master? No, it's not happening here.
Like they
No,
even have a setting. They have like a setting in that game I just learned where you can actually adjust the way the spiders look, like make them less scary. Like if you're arachnophobic.
Wow.
How do you make
Yeah.
spiders less scary?
wow, they coddle to everybody, don't they?
They found a way.
How does that happen? Like, how do you make spiders less scary? Like, you
Yeah.
know, like what would that look like?
Spiders are awesome. I love them.
I know you
Yeah,
do. I
well-
hate them.
Well, in the game you fight so far I've seen orb weavers and wolf spiders and being killed by a wolf spider.
And your friend ants.
I've
and
seen,
stuff, right?
I've
yeah.
actually trapped black widows when I used to live in California.
Oh, that had been terrifying.
Dude, if I see a black widow, I'm running.
Yeah, run.
We have them here. I've actually had them in my basement downstairs a couple times.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I caught them. I let them outside once I
Yeah,
caught.
that's what you do.
I'm like,
You
oh no,
catch
you're
them
going
when
in
you do
here
too.
and then out there.
They're
Yeah.
still beneficial to the environment. You just don't want to kill. You just
No, I don't kill any
them.
spiders.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
kill any
just-
insects.
When I went to
even if
school-
you want, and before anyone asks, no, in case even if it's a black widow, you don't turn into Spider-Man. In that case, you're gonna
Yep.
die.
Yep.
No,
And,
you have to tell them. You have to tell them that they turn into Spider-Man.
Well, if it's,
Otherwise,
if
it
it's a
defeats
blue,
the purpose.
listen. In their defense, if it's a vibrant blue and red spider, sure, let it bite
There we go.
you.
And
Let it
I
bite
went
you.
to
Blue and
yeah,
red.
I went to Western Kentucky University where we have both black widows and brown recluses, and I've
We
had
have them here.
and so like when my parents were visiting, we were at a football game, parents' weekend. I saw like this spider on the wall. It had that red hourglass. Immediately, I knew what that was, and I said, "Hey, Dad, look at this." And I pointed. I said, "Is that what I think it is?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, Don, stay away from those." And I'm like, "Yeah, you don't have to tell me."
Their venom is literally, I've been told, their
I wanted to
venom is
pet it.
literally 15 times more powerful than a rattlesnake's.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Those things are no joke.
The one thing I hate about brown recluses is that if you get bit by one, your skin actually starts peeling off because it has like
Necrosis.
it's like acid.
Causes-
It's like getting burned by
yeah.
acid.
Starts
Not the
causing
good kind.
Yeah.
basically like gangrene.
It's like kind of like necrosis.
I was thinking, I thought it would cause gangrene too, though.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this will be a good stopping point for this episode. Yeah. So Final Destination.
Now that we mentioned the good kind of acid, we got to end this.
Yep. So yeah. Final Destination. Like not I don't consider it like the best horror film, but I do like what it was trying to do.
Yeah, no, it was a great idea for a franchise. I just think they overstayed their welcome.
Yeah.
Stayed there.
Yeah. It may have, yes. But,
Just
That's
like
a good way
spiders,
of
they overstayed their
describing
welcome.
it.
pretty much. So thank you everybody for watching.
wait,
And what?
No, I was going to make the announcement quickly for the other shows quickly. So I actually, Tom, I thought I should let Tom know about this. So Tom, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do Nick Files tomorrow for BB3 TV and the
That's
other
okay.
network. It's just because like I've been having issues with my eye for the last couple of days. I mean, it's recovering now, but nothing major. But
Can you see
if
out
I'm
of it?
able, what's that?
Can you see out of it?
Yeah, I can see through it. I'll explain to you about it a little bit later. But I'm going to try to work on at least part of the slideshow tonight. If I have some of it, that's enough. I'll try to go on with it. And if that's the case, possibly tomorrow, the slideshow I'll be showing for Nick Files will be the Harrisville Haunting, of course, better known as the Conjuring House. But I'm sticking to the actual name. It's really called the Harrisville Haunting because I've spoken with Andrea Perone, one of the real family members who lived there back in the early 70s. But if not this week, oh shit, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it next week because next week is Thanksgiving.
Well,
It'll-
not on Tuesday.
No, I do my show on Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday. Well,
Yeah.
that's still not Thanksgiving. That's the day before Thanksgiving. That's Drinksgiving.
Drinksgiving.
Yeah, that's when you get drunk. And then Thanksgiving is when you have your hangover and you eat it away and you go into a coma while you're watching football. And then you wake up and you feel fine and you have another couple beers and then you go to bed and then it's Friday.
That already tells
That's
me what
essentially
you're
it.
doing. That already tells me what you're doing.
That's it in a nutshell.
Then
American Thanksgiving.
Then also for Thursday, I'm not sure who we're going to be having on for Supernatural Talk. I think we are supposed to have at least one or two guests on. And the new show that I'm doing, because Tom, I don't know if you know, I'm now officially doing a fifth show. It's on Things Network. It's the show which is now officially called Criminals and Villains. That's with Lois Haddo from Scotland. We're going to be talking about Jack the Ripper for episode 2.
So like real crime kind of.
Yeah. So this show really quickly just kind of.
I have plenty of ideas for you. I know. I
gonna...
got to know of many through other networks that shall remain nameless. That I used to be a part of.
Well, if you guys don't know, yeah, we started this new show last week, and this is you can kind of say one of the really the only non-paranormal related show that I do, but it still focuses on unsolved murders and serial killers, and it's certainly an honor to be offered to be a co-host on the show, someone all the way from Scotland. So yeah, we're going to be talking about Jack the Ripper this Thursday, and then like I said, Supernatural Talk. Oh, thank you, Jeremy. The Wiccan Sisters, that's who we're going to have on. And then finally, I'm also supposed to be co-hosting, once again, with Vivian, Dan, and Lois from the UK on the show The Frighteners. And we're going to be having Ernie Pack on to talk because they plan on having a Save Waverly Hills episode. So we're going to talk to Ernie Pack. So it'll be a great way for him to tell a story to expand overseas because we need all the help that we can get to saving Waverly Hills. And yeah, all these shows, it's going to be great. Hopefully Nick Files tomorrow. I'm keeping my fingers crossed, but all the others, that's
fine. If you can't go to there tomorrow, that's perfectly fine. Me and Dom will not have any problems with that. And as far as your other show goes, with the unsolved crimes and stuff like that, I may have a couple stories for you to look into. That involved the very last operating Potter's Field in the country, which was here in Philadelphia. There's a couple people buried in there and that were never solved and stuff. Something for you to look into.
Yeah, definitely refer to us because we are looking for more. We definitely are looking for more stories. And in case you guys want to check that out, that's going to be obviously because since Lois lives in Scotland, obviously it's a different time, time difference. So over here, it'll be I think it's about 3:00 Central Time.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
So thank you everybody for watching, and thank you Rochelle and Kevin. Thank you Tom for joining us. And
thank you, Nikki thank you, Nikki, earlier. I know you weren't able to come back on, but we still appreciate you coming on to the show, even for just a few minutes. We really appreciate it.
Oh yes. So be sure to tune in next week when we go into Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Have a good night.
Have a good night.